Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sober Swole podcast. Tonight's format's going to be a little bit different. We're running through our shout outs of companies that we love and support after this, but we have a guest on this evening named Drew Cook. He is King Dingaling of the Sober Swole podcast, and also he is the host of the Clean Libertarian podcast, and he's going to discuss the Sober Swole, the Sober Caucus, and what exactly its purpose is. You'll see if you're involved on Liberty Twitter at all, which is always a
great
good time.
place, fun place to be.
But
Yeah,
it's great. You'll see Sober Caucus stuff popping up, and it's very strange because they're not backing anyone or really engaging in a lot of the infighting. It's different.
very strange. Very strange to see, for sure.
What was that pill they're selling on Wayne's World? The Namprin, little, yellow, different.
Different, yeah. Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I like that. I like that we don't involve ourselves in anything. We got a message, man. And
Yep.
that message is all that matters.
I completely agree. And as the treasurer, I have no bias whatsoever. So the biggest thing that you're rocking and rolling on is really getting the message out and getting fundraising set up, so we can get the hospitality room for the Libertarian Party convention in Reno. That's just around the corner. Get that paid for, and a place for people who are in recovery or people that are curious about recovery to come in and kind of see what it's all about.
Yeah.
In your opinion, what separates the Sober Caucus from any other caucus that's within any of the other 1,800 caucuses inside the Libertarian Party? What is the main difference?
Well, I mean, for me, it kind of does seem, and we aren't the only issues caucus by any stretch of the imagination. However, we are, from what I can gather, the only issues caucus inside of the LP that is actively trying to accomplish something, right? Um, there's, you got the Radical Caucus, you got some other folks, and they do wonderful things, and amongst their group, but for us, or from where I can sit and see, the Sober Caucus is the only entity within the LP that is actively giving an open invite to anybody to come and be a part of it, right? Not drawing any kind of party lines, nothing like that. The only requirement to come hang out is just leave your booze and dope at the door. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Which is, you're going to hear people up in arms about that. What do you mean I can't freely do dope around these dope fiends?
You're right. Yeah. They can they can take a nap on it, man. It'll be okay.
Yep.
Like I'll take all the hate, as far as that's concerned. I think the big thing for me, and a lot of us, we've had our finger on the pulse, about not wanting to come across as elitist, right? Like
Yep.
not wanting to make sobriety out to be, it's just the right choice for us. And if you want to hang out with us, like just do what we do. But I don't know about you, but like I openly celebrate anybody who can party hard and not have it ruin their life. Like, fuck yeah,
Yeah.
hammer down.
That was the biggest thing about me getting a job at the bar.
Yeah.
It was like, I can be around you. I don't have to participate in the nonsense.
Right.
But but it also helped me get a good view of what I was not missing out on.
Yeah. Yes, for sure. So for me, like I work in, mental health and substance abuse, and working in a facility that's attached to a crisis center, like we see up close and personal, and I can be around it to a certain degree, and I can help people, but what's that term, man? You hang out in a barber shop, you're going to get a haircut type of thing.
Yep.
you know?
There was a guy, his name is Michael Pena, and he heard it from somewhere. Obviously, I saw who the originator of the quote was, but I can't remember. But I just remember I attribute it to Mike, and it was, "You are who you hang out with."
Mm,
Because
yep.
the more the people you spend the most time around, even if they're not like your type of people, you slowly try to morph into that tribe.
Yeah.
And so when the group chat started of liberty minded sober folks, that was really cool. And then you sent out that poll about should we should I start a sobriety based caucus, and,
Yeah.
and I'm sure everyone was like, yeah, whatever, haha, yes.
I think, you know what? And like in hindsight, that's probably what it was. There was all of like, man, I have like 3,000 followers, and my engagement is so incredibly low. So I think that of those 3,000, maybe 20 voted, and of those 20, like maybe 15 said yes. And I'm like, say no more, fam. All it would have taken was just one yes vote, and we would have been rocking, you know. But
Yep.
I don't know, man. That was kind of a cool thing. I mean, because I kicked the idea around for a little bit, and really where it started to take shape is I brought, you remember Kim Ruff?
I do not off the top of my
Okay.
head.
In 2020, in the run up to the National Libertarian Convention, her and John Phillips both were running, respectively, president and vice president for the LP ticket. She dropped out the race, along with John prior to the convention, and had her own struggles with alcoholism. And I brought her on the podcast and kind of got to talk about her story a little bit. And we just started kind of chatting about this concept. And like, I don't know, man, that's really the first person who was like, go for it, like make this happen. I'm 100% in support of that. And so like, yeah, man. I mean, obviously, I credit like you and Greg and the other cats who've been there with us from Jump Street, and helped build this thing. But as far as like really putting rubber to road initially, Kim Ruff was a huge contributing force to making that thing a reality.
So, other than the hospitality room in Reno coming up, what can people expect out of a sobriety based caucus? Not just in a liberty movement, but in general.
Well, I think first off and foremost, our main purpose is to reach anyone, regardless if they have 20 years sober, a day sober, or they wish they could get sober, and to be that resource within our respective community, and with an open invitation to anybody outside of that community. um, Discretion is the name of the game, right? And
Yep.
with stigma being what it is, anyone who reaches out to any of us in the Sober Caucus will be met with complete and total, their anonymity will be 100% respected. And we can help them out. There's quite a few of us that are hooked up, recovery meetings. We have reach across the entire United States. We can get somebody plugged in with where they need to go, who they need to talk to, if they want to hit a meeting, go to detox, whatever. um, Long term for the caucus, I really want to see us have scholarships available to people wanting to go to treatment but maybe don't have the money to do so. Like that to me would be, we did our job, right? you know
Hmm. Yep.
like that's really what I want to see happen, man. And I think we'll get there. um we
Well, just
raised over, go ahead.
I was gonna say, just from a fiduciary standpoint, we've done pretty well.
Yeah.
I mean, just off of just our limited, hey, here we are. Obviously, you're the bright, beautiful, shining face of the organization. You've been hitting up some pretty big shows. Um, oh, I've been looking for that Brad Palumbo and Hannah
I
Cox
have
show.
too. I have too. You and me both. I don't know when
Are
that's
they
going to release.
are
I
they
don't
just
know.
scared to release the awesome or what?
Nah, well, it would. Here's the thing. Knowing my luck, I was like really confident, post recording of that, and maybe it just sucked. And they're just sweeping it. They're gonna pretend like it didn't happen. I don't know. Um,
They're gonna release it after the convention and be like,
I wouldn't know what to do. Yeah, that might have gotten lost, in the memory hole there. But yeah, I don't know when that will come out. But I had an equally constructive conversation with Peak Hair, Carrie and
yeah,
Harlow's.
yep. I was gonna
Um,
say I listened to that whole thing.
yeah, that was a
I was
pretty
on
good
my
one, man.
I was actually on my way to last week's episode. We did it at my friend's house. It was my buddy's wife is like a guru at balancing life. So I went in and wanted to talk to her. But yeah, and Greg and I had some fun with you in there in the live chat right off the bat.
Yeah, yeah, you did. I was like, "There's my people, man. They showed
Yep,
up to support. All right,
yep.
they're here."
Well, all right, man. So the Sober Caucus as a whole, we have made it clear, specifically within our group and the officers' meetings, that we are not going to support a political candidate. Why do you? Why is that important? And why do you think that it will give us some more pull or less?
Here's the thing: we have already seen, in my opinion, how quickly it could our message could go off the rails if we
Yeah.
start creating alliances with candidates, right?
Yep.
One thing we don't want to do, I mean, let's just call the elephant in the room what it is, man. There is a lot of collectivism going on inside of the party.
Yep.
Tribalism is just running rampant. You got great people on all sides, not trying to say, but you get the Mises caucus versus like literally everybody else, it seems like. And
Yep.
I don't want to be involved in that at all.
No.
Like, I think if we start putting candidates and endorsements behind, and not just political candidates, but like actual officers within the party, even if we endorse somebody like that, we're diluting the ultimate purpose of the caucus, which is to promote recovery
Okay.
and promote liberty through recovery. It seems like we could get off on a bad spot,
No. Most definitely. So, with that meaning, you said with officers within the party, so that would mean, let's say, I got a wild hair up my ass, and I was like, I'm running for senator. I'm gonna be a senator of Arizona, not a state senator. Give me that Fed job, baby. Um, the Sober Caucus wouldn't be like, we back Jake Howard,
No,
right?
Drew Cook would as an individual. I'm sure Greg would as an individual, but official communication coming out of the party, or I'm sorry, coming out of the caucus. That's not something that I think any of us are going to be on board for. I know I wouldn't. I would vote
No,
against it.
no, and I
Um,
completely agree with you. I was just wondering to see where I wanted to promote that love. And so when people
yeah,
come
man.
across this, when these people come across this and they're like, these assholes are about to, man. Like, no,
Nah.
we just want people to, use their substance of choice responsibly. If they can't handle it, get the help.
Yeah,
Like,
that's it, man. Simple as that. Oh, another thing that I would like to see us do is, and I was thinking about this here lately, is to purchase a whole bunch of fentanyl test strips and Narcan doses and distribute
mhm.
them widely at all affiliate conventions. That would be fucking cool. That would be
no, I
really cool to see happen.
no, I think that's something that we should definitely do. Fentanyl is about to get worse.
Yeah.
Like, you can you can feel that one on the wind.
Yeah. I
Like I feel like
I posted a tweet from Breaking 911, that pseudo news page on Twitter, and they're talking
yeah,
about how the DEA is forecasting a dark and gloomy upcoming months or year because of fentanyl, and the thumbnail picture is a penny with a couple of granules of fentanyl next to it. The obvious message there being that this is what it'll take to kill half the nation, just this one little granule of fentanyl.
yeah,
Um, here's There's a lot wrong with that, first of all, but second of all, it's like the DEA complaining about that is like the cause being shocked at the effect, you know.
right.
And just reading the comments, man, it's a lot to take in. But the one prevailing thought, it seems like, uh, Breaking 911 has a very specific demographic, and that
Yep.
demographic likes to wear a lot of red hats. Good for
Yeah.
them. Cool.
Yep.
Their rationale is that if we shut down the border, no more fentanyl gets in the country. These people really don't know that fentanyl is in every single hospital across the entire nation. I mean, every single one, maybe a couple of clinics, even, you
Yep.
know. Um, Fentanyl's here, man. It's been here for a long time. It only became a problem when drug policy gave cover to bad actors that cross contaminate, spike, whatever the hell it is they're doing to get it into the drug supply. So yeah, that's my little rant on that, dude. That bugs me to no end. You know,
No, that's fine. Rant away, brother.
yeah.
That's, we gave you this damn platform to rant, sir,
Damn it.
and
Yeah.
I expect it. By God, no, man. I it's when it comes to so like I had a slight issue with cocaine, and I would be like I'm more scared to relapse now than anything.
Yeah, man.
On top of it's been so long since I've ingested such substances, so I don't have that tolerance anymore. On top of what's in it,
Yep.
Robbie. Robbie says I'm really old and I remember Reefer Madness.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
same
Yeah.
same shit, different drug is what he says after that.
Yep. Yeah, man. It's the and there was the I think it was out of LA. It was the cop, and he's in the back of his patrol car, and he's testing this powdery substance, and obviously doing a test for fentanyl, and he doesn't ingest it at all. And he falls to the ground, right, and collapses, and they're like, fentanyl did this. He breathed it in, and that was it. And it came out that was obvious bullshit. It was a fake story.
Hmm.
Occasionally you'll see a news clip of some school resource officer wearing a full-on hazmat suit, talking about how they searched a student's locker and found fentanyl. It's just this crazy notion. And don't get me wrong, like, I'm not trying to say that fentanyl is harmless. It's not. It'll kill your ass, obviously. But to the extent that they make it out to be, it's just simply not true at all. Not true. Um, yeah, man.
Well, with
But
them trying to finally push through uh, marijuana legalization, you got to find another bad guy to fight, another villain for the heroes.
yeah, yeah, and
And I
that's
mean,
the thing,
and once again, that's also me not saying that fentanyl's not bad. Fentanyl is
right?
bad, and it will kill you. It's
Yes.
just
Um, so, and what a perfect caricature of a villain, right? Than
mhm.
the illegal immigrant drug dealer, like that, because that's, I mean, let's be real, that's the story that's being spun right now.
Well,
Um,
see, and that was also the big pusher. Once they got George Floyd's blood results back, they're like, "Oh, he
man,
was he was dead anyway." Look, it's like, oh yeah,
that
so that
here's the thing, and I saw some of the greatest minds. One of the people that brought me helped bring me into libertarianism was Pete Quiones, and
Hmm.
that dude was like calling the BLM riots the fentanyl riots, and saying this and that. Like Floyd was on fentanyl. Man, let me tell you, I have done some heavy ass opiates. Never once did I have the energy to fight a cop. If you're overdosing on an opiate, the last thing you're doing is fighting anybody except for the pavement. Like you're hitting that bad boy, like it's a wrap. Uh, what happens is your breathing slows to a minimum. You're not convulsing and breathing heavy. Like you are slowly drifting off to nothing. Um,
Hmm.
I don't know, man. That bugged me. And there's still that's the rationale that a lot of people use, and like we don't have to give credence to the like buy into this whole boogeyman the state is propping up. While we can not buy into that, but also acknowledge that, hey, look, burning down businesses was not a cool thing. The riots that took place in the summer of 20 was not okay. But yeah, dude, that narrative is just
Yeah.
so wrong.
Well, I think a lot of that is you have to find, not you have to, but I think a lot of people really do their best to find a reason to hate something with a vigor that's not warranted just because it happened against their platform.
Yeah.
That was English, right?
Yeah, I got
Okay.
you. That tracks.
Yeah.
You know, it's that whole us versus them thing, right? Like, you gotta, I don't know. I never thought I'd see libertarians believing an autopsy report from a state official.
Yeah. Right.
that
Yeah.
that coincidentally covered said state official's ass.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know, man. I was like, oh, we trust in the government now, guys. Is that what we're
Yeah.
doing,
Oh, cool.
anarchists?
Cool.
Is that what we're
I've hate,
doing?
I've hated the government my whole life except for right here.
Right now, they got it right. Finally, that was it. Fentanyl. Fentanyl
Yeah.
makes
Then
you fight cops.
and then 2 minutes and then 2 minutes later they'll post a meme about should the government and no like
Yeah. No.
yeah, okay. Well, bro, that's really all I got for you. I know you're on a time crunch and you got stuff that you got to do.
Yeah,
Um,
but man, I love you to death, Jake. You're one of those people that I've got to meet in this deal, and I'm grateful for it. There's a lot of people, it seems like, have had really terrible experiences with the LP or whatever, and there's a lot of discontent and hatred, vitriol floating around. But like, I really do feel like we found our niche, our happy
yep.
place, man. And um, I don't know, man. I wish that other people who either are in the LP and thinking about getting out or on the outside thinking about getting in could see some of those moments that we get to share with one another, and like the camaraderie and the I don't know, man. You don't find that at a whole lot of places. I guess in the rooms of 12-step meetings we talk about common peril and a common solution, and there's something to be said about people who've escaped that type of downfall. Man, we've seen how bad it was and understand like what's on the line. So
Mhm.
maybe that makes us unique, right?
Yep. No, man, I appreciate you. Like I said on Twitter, I threw a Hail Mary pass and you were down there in the end zone with the good hands catching the ball, man. And I really appreciate you jumping on and taking the time. Um,
Yeah, man.
of course, I'll post all of the Sober Caucus information in the description.
All right.
But tell folks where they can find you.
You can find me at Liberty Drew 84 on Twitter, or you can find me at clean_podcast. That's the podcast page on Twitter. Clean Libertarian Podcast is on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Google, all the fun stuff. Got some great episodes that are already up. I got a harm reduction activist that I'm about to interview this week. Here in a couple of weeks, I got a really interesting guest. It's a couple of wonderful ladies out here in Oklahoma who have opened a church, and they use psychedelic mushrooms as part of their ritual, and they do therapy with that. And so we're going to get kind of a closer look at like what that's all about. But that's kind of the gist of the podcast. So if you're curious about recovery or curious about what's going on with drug policy or activism, uh, come on and hang out a while, right?
Hell yeah.
And on the Sober Caucus fundraising, so we've and just one last little thing before I bounce out, we've raised over 1,000, right?
Yes,
And
sir.
that's amazing. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. Because of the way that hotel contracts work, we have to purchase all refreshments for the hospitality room through the hotel, and just coffee and water alone, nothing else. We're going to spend $570
Yeah.
just on coffee and water alone.
Uh-huh. Mhm.
So if you have the ability to kick a few bucks our way, like it will be very much so needed and appreciated, obviously, and put to a good cause. So
Well,
that's my spiel.
oh, and before you bounce, I've heard really great things about psychedelic microdosing, but there's there's a gentleman that does that has really just been screaming on Twitter lately, and so you gotta watch that because
Yeah,
if your microdose turns into more of a macro dose, it will break your brain. So
yeah, yeah. I think that maybe that brain was broken a while back. I'm not saying any names. You and I both know
nope,
what we're
nope,
talking about, but
no, sir, no free
yeah,
clout. We don't.
no, none at all. Pay the sober caucus and maybe we can talk. But yeah, man. Here's the thing. It's just like anything else. All good things in moderation. If you can handle it, power to you.
Yeah.
One thing I really like about these two ladies, because I got to meet them at the OKLP convention, is that they really put emphasis on how these substances that they use are a tool and only a tool. The actual therapeutic process takes place with aid of the tool. So it's not just, hey, come dose on shrooms and hang out a while. It's, hey, come take this. It's going to be a lubricant for us to kind of figure out what's going on underneath some of those layers that maybe you didn't know how to lift before now. And I really like that concept. I won't be
Mhm.
doing it, but I think that it could be beneficial for a lot of people out there.
No, man, and I think that's a great idea. I love shrooms. If if
Yeah,
there
I
was a
do too.
uh, um, uh, my like I've said this before, but my first experience was I went and saw Avatar in 3D at the
Oh,
IMAX
hell
theater.
yeah. Hell yeah, man. I bet that was a blast. I bet that
Best
was an
movie,
absolute blast.
best movie I've ever seen. Watch it. Otherwise, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
no, I think that like anything else, if used responsibly and under someone who actually knows what they're doing, it could be definitely beneficial. Shoot. Well, like I take amphetamine. Doctor prescribed amphetamine to help me concentrate. Like
Hmm.
it can be done.
It can be. Absolutely.
Well, brother,
Absolutely.
I'll let you get back to husband and dadding and
All right,
painting your
bro.
models, man.
All right, man. Well, I love you, buddy.
I love you. Thank you so much again.
Anytime, man. All right.
There we go. That was Mr. Drew Cook, the president of the Sober Caucus, and he is the host of the Clean Libertarian podcast. It's great. I went and did that show. Um, he's a really good guy, really down to earth. He's not a big fan of forcing anybody to do anything. Just more of he'll sit there and talk to you. Just a really good dude. Um, before we kick it for the rest of the evening, um, my friends of mine, they have a 3-year-old son who was diagnosed with brain cancer, and they are doing a Give Send Go campaign to help raise money for the bills and the expenses that they have going on. They're sitting at 53% of their goal right now as of recording, and that's Give Send Go, and then It's /care for Camden. So care for Camden, CAMDEN. I'll put that link in our description as well. If you feel so inclined, please kick them a dollar or two. As a father myself, I really can't wrap my head around what they must be going through on top of just the suffering that their son is going through. And with that, like let's turn it up back up to the happy side for a little bit. We're going to give a shout out to Royalty Nutrition. That's royaltynutrition.com. And to help me out with that is Warhorse.
Hey, it's Warhorse. Do you want your workouts to look like this? Or do you want your workouts to slay? When Warhorse picks his pre-workout, he wants it to slay. If you want second place, go with somebody else. If you want to be a champion, go with Royalty Nutrition.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, Royalty Nutrition. They are a veteran-owned and operated supplement company that goes out of their way to not automatically buy the cheapest ingredient for their supplements and things that really just help you along your path to your fitness goals. RoyaltyNutrition.com. Use the discount code 37HAKE to save you 15% on your entire order. My next shout out of the evening will be to Gorilla Gains. That's gorilla-gains with a Z.com. They are a fitness apparel company that you can wear comfortably in and out of the gym, as well as making great equipment that helps keep you safe while you train. Use the discount code JAKE15 to save you 15% on your entire order. My last shout out of the evening will be the FitOps Foundation. You can check them out at fitops.org. They are a not-for-profit organization that helps veterans rediscover their purpose after their service to the country by giving them a step up in the fitness industry. If you go through this course and the fitness industry doesn't work out, that's fine. You learn great skills that help you cope with readjusting into being a civilian after your time with the military. And with that, I'm going to kick it to old DJ Swirl to talk about Buy to Buy and Buy to Buy Studios.
What's up, everybody? Buy to Buy, BUYTOBYE. Everywhere you are, from the time you buy to the time we say goodbye, we take care of you, whether you purchase things in store or online. I did a delivery earlier today. It was just me, and I had someone on each end waiting to help me. And it was interesting because when people decide to do it themselves, especially when there's different people on each end.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good. The guy who helped me, he was like, "Oh, is it heavy?" I was like, "Yes, it is." And so he said, "Oh, okay, cool. I'll get on the other side of it." He goes to pick it up, and he's like, "Oh my!" And his wife bought it. Made him carry this heavy thing, and it was pretty funny. She tipped me well, so thank you very much. So we do on-demand deliveries. We do TV mounting. We do assembly. We do staging. And I'm forgetting one. Oh, yeah, moving. We also have vendor partnerships that we work with local businesses to help alleviate a lot of the burden that has surfaced as a result of the pandemic, and the supply chain is still recovering. So if you're a local business that is in need, reach out to us, again, at BUYTOBYE. If you search just that on Google, you'll find all of our stuff. If you just try Buy to Buy, you just try, like the company name, you'll get the YouTube link for the NSYNC classic Buy, and that won't help you, so don't do that. This is an extension of Buy to Buy. This is Buy to Buy Studios. This is high quality content creation at a low cost. And Jake is somewhere in the southeast valley, and I am not. And we do this once a week. And then your guest is where?
He's in Oklahoma.
In OK. So we are interstitial with it. I'm not sure how that works for my
Interstation.
I'm not. I don't know if that's how you say it. But if it is, I'm gonna start saying that a lot more because I like how that sounds.
I like it.
But no, for my patent application, like they were like, you have to do state out of state transactions in order for it to be able to cover I'm sorry, that was for the copyright or the trademark. And so I guess that's an example of that, isn't it?
There you go. I'd say so.
I don't know how that works anymore. Anyway,
Well, in order for it to be a transaction, I think we'd have to you'd have to like exchange like a cent or something. Hey, Greg, nice to see you. You missed Drew. Um,
where are we at?
no, but no, I really wanted to bring Drew on at some point to have a more of an in-depth conversation about the Sober Caucus, and I'm glad that we got him on for that first 30 minutes.
Right.
Because, dude, I think it's such a great thing. I don't know if you ever peruse Liberty Twitter at all, but it's a lot of my gang is better than your gang, and proverbial dick measuring, and a lot of it is like, why? I mean, we're all here for pretty much the same purpose. How about we focus on getting where we need to go, and then we can argue about who's the better libertarian. Like,
So what's the vetting process in all of this? Like, do you guys have association standards?
what do you mean
I mean,
for the Sober Caucus or the party?
like a resume, right? So when you go get a job or you want someone to represent your brand, you have to go through some kind of vetting process, whether that's, a check, fraud check, all the kind of checks that you go through whenever, you get hired somewhere. I'm assuming there isn't because this is like a volunteer style mission, right?
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
So when it comes down to the Sober Caucus, I'll have to pull up the actual bylaws about it, but really, it's I wouldn't say you even have to be necessarily a liberty-minded individual, but it's preferred,
Sure.
preferred heavily.
No, I just say that meaning it's very easy to have discourse that is, selfishly intended when you don't really have a system of checks and balances that gets everybody on the same page before you even have that, the access to do all that.
So here, you can pull. Could you put Greg's last, second to last comment up there on the screen? It's, don't be a dick. Believe in state. Don't believe in state prohibition. Support community forced recovery, focused recovery. Enjoy snacks.
Yeah, that leaves the door open.
Yeah, the doors. The door is pretty open. The thing is, when it comes to, if you go to any recovery room, like an AA room or like a rehab, you've got people from all different walks and lives and beliefs.
Of course.
Our,
Of course. No, I'm talking about the hierarchy. The people at the top that are the face of the brand. They have to have an organized, a concise premise. Otherwise, not even, and you're talking about a lot of infighting, right? So as soon as the message is off a little bit or doesn't represent or whatever, that's where all of the, the conflict comes from. And then that's in-house. Now imagine outside.
We wrote, well, I didn't write shit. I voted on our bylaws that state the organization. It's just like a company charter, but not. And it's pretty well organized that a hostile takeover won't happen. And if it does, it take kind of like an act of God to happen. On top of officer term limits, and all those things along that nature.
Okay. No, I'm just saying, like, the Constitution is quite specific.
Yeah.
And the people who could even be involved in that process is quite specific. So, all of that has intention. And so that prevents certain people that they would deem deplorable or whatever the adjective you would use, that it keeps those folks out. And so when you don't have those systems set up, it's very inclusive, but snakes on a plane.
Oh, well, I could pull up the document right now and read you verbatim, but I don't want to give up the keys to the castle on a public platform.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like things are set up.
How is your policy? Like your policy is secret?
No, it's not secret. It's the things. I don't want to read it all. It's
No, I'm not. No, I'm not asking. I'm not asking you to do any of that. I'm just saying, like, in order for there to be less infighting, you have to have some kind of vetting process to make sure that the people at the table of the discussion, that they're worthy of that being part of that discussion, as opposed to radicals and whatever. And I get it.
Oh yeah, we have an election process set up if that's what you're referring to, and then that's why term limits are a thing. And
no, I'm talking about like educational credentials, or like why everybody has a lab coat now, right? Like if you're going to be the face of anything, you ought to be able to list off your credentials to say whether or not you're worthy of supporting or being supported.
I get what you mean. Yeah, no, and I think I'm not a college educated man. I have more of a background role. I just, share and retweet and
You're in
promote.
college?
No, yeah, but I don't have a degree. That's what I'm saying.
So what? You're a collegiate.
I am a collegiate.
Do not sell yourself short just because of the way you're doing it, bro.
I am a young strapping lad with hopes and dreams.
Well, sir, you are a veteran of both service and life, and so you are furthering your education at the middle point of your life when it is a choice. So, you can't sell yourself short in terms of education. I'm just saying, dude, like, we can look at any other party, and there are people who you have a level of respect for one way or the other, and then there are people who they are laughable.
Right.
And so my whole thing is, I have always said that there should be at least 3 options, but I can't support a third option because of what we've been talking about. Because all of that stuff has to be ironed out before people can galvanize behind it. So, but you guys got 1.2% of the vote, so that's probably part of that.
Yeah, that's definitely part
Probably definitely.
So the big reason why Gary Johnson was such a big deal during the Jesus Christ, when did Gary Johnson run for fucking president? So many goddamn
2010, 12, 14, 16.
16.
Every 4 years, right? Yeah. 12, 16, yeah.
Yeah, 2012, 2016.
No, I'm pretty sure. I remember posting about Gary Johnson simply because he was a third option who had a history of credentials.
Yep, and he had some ass behind him.
Yeah.
On top of being a state governor and.
Yep.
Yeah, no, and that was the.
But even then, what did he get, or did he even make the ticket?
He did.
He did.
Yeah, he got like. Greg.
Dang, Greg, our statistician.
Yeah,
statistician.
It was like 5 or 6% of the total vote.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But like, if you can't get at least 15% of the vote, it's not a serious thing. It's not worthy of being at the table.
No, and I get what you mean, and that's why I don't participate in the infighting. I don't.
No. But if
And
you don't have to
and
participate in the infighting, but you should. So use that energy to set up parameters that minimize that or reduce it.
I agree, and I think that's
Because look
a
at
lot
your
of the
shirt.
reason
What's your shirt say?
earned, not given.
There you go. So you guys are giving access to a whole bunch of different people, but you have a shirt that says earned, not given. So it's like,
I'm
know
not
what
sure
I'm
I
saying?
understand sure I understand the correlation.
I'm saying that people who are in a position of authority within your party, they ought to earn their spot as opposed to, and I'm not talking about a vote. I'm talking about they have invested time in their education, in their premise, libertarian at heart, that you
No,
guys can all get behind. And
when it comes to officers and people that can hold elected positions, that's for sure a thing.
right, but you're the what are you, the secretary, the treasurer?
I'm the treasurer, baby.
Yeah, right. What are your credentials to be a treasurer?
I can do math. I've taken some math classes.
Okay, that's a unique thing that qualifies you over. Who was your competition? What is
Well,
that? What does your competition look like? Who did you compete against for the seat?
Nobody. No, we were no like this. The whole thing was yeah. See, Greg says I do math good. He knows. He's the but no,
The statistician confirms.
and my whole thing is I don't, like I said, I don't plan on holding on to this position forever. You know what I mean? Like once things really get rocking and rolling and someone better comes along, I will gladly give them my spot. I'm not,
Okay.
you know what I mean? Like it's not a,
So in terms of supporting a candidate or just people in specific positions of authority, shouldn't they want to be around for a while?
what do you mean? So this is not, it's not a candidate really based. It's
No, I
all
know.
just based on the issue.
So why'd you do it?
Why did I do it? Because I wanted to help. Honestly, I wanted to help Drew make this happen because he and the guys that I've met through this are legitimately good guys who have been through the ringer in life themselves. And with our combined just life experience, I think that we can help a lot of people. We can, I'm not saying we're out to save the world, but I mean, if you can help one, you know, that's saying.
Create a viable third option, man. That's
Yeah.
it. All I would hope to see is something else we can take seriously.
I agree.
That's
Yeah.
my whole point of having this being critical is to poke holes and then figure out ways to patch them up, right? So I'm not trying to be condescending. I'm sure it comes across to whoever sees this, they might say that, but I'm just trying to be a critical, devil's advocate, just so you're prepared. So that way, hopefully somewhere down the line, there's a candidate when they get these questions, their answers, right?
And
There's process,
absolutely.
there's policy and stuff like that. I hope for it. I honestly do, because I hate choosing either or, because both are
Dog shit. Just say
garbage.
it. No, man. And that was when it comes to supporting a politician, like for a job outside of the caucus itself. We as a caucus don't support an individual.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's going to be. I think that's going to be great for us, and I also think that's going to cause some. Well, why didn't you guys have my back? But I would rather have the why did you guys not have my back rather than dig us a hole and alienate a whole bunch of people at one time.
Easy to do.
Yep, and it's easy to do on damn libertarians and liberty folks, man. Good God. So I saw that you smelled something different. That you're not libertarian enough.
Oh, you mean they moved the goalpost. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so, that was we're issue based and just like based in reality. Well, like I was saying to Drew, because like we're not going to drop any names, but there's a really big named liberty-minded individual who all of a sudden just started calling people out, and then all of the evidence he presented was just like, "Hey, man, we should probably not do that," or "I don't know what you're talking about." And he's like, "See, I told you they're all conspiring." Well, okay. And that's the latest shitstorm. And like,
that's what happens when you're free to do your own research.
Yeah, and but that's what I was
without a lab coat.
Yeah, but this is the dude that I was actually interested in his initial campaign during the run up of the 2020 election before Joe Jorgensen and Spike Cohen got their name on the ticket. He was the guy competing for the job, the job before the job. And he got up there and was like, I agree with him a lot. And then he was like, day one, I'm shutting the federal government down. I was like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, that's great to have that hope and dream, but let's live in reality for a second.
So I'm trying to shift from like blame and to accountability. And with blame, it's right or wrong. Accountability, it's does that work for your benefit, for your purpose, for blah, or does it work against it? So like just that, right? The energy behind wanting to remove the government's power or limit the government's power. You should do it in a fashion that makes sense.
Right.
And so just the fact that he's so outrageous with it, that doesn't work for him.
Well, and that's the whole thing with that Vermin Supreme dude. He is proudly a living meme, is what he said. Like,
everybody's got access, bro.
Dental-based policy. Everyone gets a free pony.
Everybody's got access, man.
How
many? What did D's nuts get?
Oh, I don't even remember.
It was a lot, bro. There's a lot of people that voted for D's nuts. So I remember seeing that on the news. And they had, like, of course, when they talked about it, they were all doing it in a joking nature, but like they had to say it because it was part of the story. It was on the fucking screen. So, man, that was so funny.
Good night, Greg. Appreciate you, man.
Night.
Yeah, man. We Oh, remind me. I got some news to tell you after we're all said and done that I'm not putting out into the public sphere yet.
Okie doke.
And if you were to say good or bad, I'll just say yes.
Hey, okay.
It's both.
Good and bad. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're doing the. Oh, this happened, but I can't tell you about it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just asking you to remind me because I'll ADHD.
Like you don't have you don't have your computer in front of you. You can't leave yourself a visual aid that says, "Ask Ryan or tell Ryan about XYZ."
Yeah, I could.
This guy. Hey, you're running the show. Could you also remind me to do?
Hey, man, since you're over there doing all that other shit, take care of my brain for me.
Yep. Yeah, pretty much. Oh man, that's funny.
Well, before we go any further into whatever rabbit hole we dive down into or say goodnight. What's new in your world, man? How's business? How's the kids? How's the wife? Fill me in.
Everything is moving in the right direction. Co had a sinus infection and bronchitis at the same time. So fun times. This is right after the wedding. So high altitude, she came back and had sinus issues, and that rolled into that combo the following weekend. So fun times at the house. Girls are doing good. I don't celebrate like this, but it's my birthday month. And my birthday is the last day of the month, so it's like I could be the obnoxious person who's like birthday month and like does shit every weekend. Sorry, I say obnoxious. I think it comes off as obnoxious to me, but I give my friends a hard time when they're like week 3. I'm just like, oh my god,
dude. There's
I'm 26.
There's a friend of mine. There's a friend of mine I know who turned 30 like last week,
Mm-hmm.
and she posted this. People don't tell you this, but when you're 30, you can just turn your head and your neck hurts. I was like, shut up! You've been 30 for a week.
A week.
Like,
A week. A week.
Come on.
No, that's from her being dehydrated for drinking for 4 days straight or whatever that looked like.
Bro, so
Hella dehydrated.
I was watching her stories, and she was out there doing not poor people things at some resort in Mexico, and it looked like most beverages were not water.
Yeah. And she gets back and she's achy. Yeah.
My body hurts. It must be because I'm old.
Her body, her choice, and her
Yeah,
choices. Her choices have wrecked her body. How about you? How are things on the Howard side of things?
Things are good. Things are coming around. Garden's coming along.
Are you finished with your woodworking?
Oh, the wood is done. I just have to
Laying some heavy wood.
all day is what I do. No, I'm gonna finish building my rock barrier around it to keep the dogs out, and then I still have to till up the ground and get my my good soil, and then we're gonna put a shade canopy up because the way our backyard's set up is we get sun constantly. Had to spend 3 days in bed after putting my back out, taking out the trash a few weeks ago. Aging sucks. Damn, Bo.
It's funny because I played basketball for 90 minutes today.
Yeah. Well, you're
I'm
also.
I'm gonna feel it tomorrow. I know that for certain. I have the gun right next to me, like the therapy gun.
Hell yeah.
As soon as we're done with this, round 2.
I was gonna say, and then that, and I think you'll be a little bit better off than a lot of people because you're way more active than a lot of people your age too.
But that barometer is so low.
True.
It's so low. It's like playing on an 8-foot goal. Yeah, I should be able to Vince Carter everything. Yeah, you're 40, but the barometer's low. Awesome.
I was talking some mad shit to Paul's son at their up there at their wedding, because they had the hoop lowered, and he was trying to dunk and just wasn't getting it. And I was like, boy, after all these camps you go to and traveling teams,
man.
Your white ass can't get up that high.
Well,
Gotta put a little humble check on a young man.
let's call him Woody from now on until he gets up there.
And one day he will.
One day he will, yeah. But until he does. Oh man, that's what you brought up animals. the delivery I had today. You know how people open their garage, and you know how against the wall of the garage, people might upgrade and they'll have like cabinets lining the wall, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look sharp, great organization. This customer opened up his garage and he had that, but it was 4 cats.
Oh no!
So it was like, it looked like a chicken coop essentially, but there were cats in there. There was a grip of cats in there, and there were at least 4 cats in the front room where we moved the piece. And I was just like I wear my mask every day or every delivery, if anything, just to kind of scope out who I'm dealing with. If they don't look like their respiratory system is in trouble, or there isn't an unpleasant odor or pet hair everywhere, I don't need a mask, but I tend to. And so I was glad I did today, because that cat dander was everywhere. So I was only there for a few minutes, praise baby Jesus, but like they were all over the place, dog. I saw they opened that up and I just heard meow meow. I'm like, oh.
That would have put me on my ass.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, so if a cat has ever been outside ever, I guess they develop a different kind of dander.
Oof.
And that's what I'm allergic to. So on top of having like in general, mild cat allergy as it is, if a cat has ever been outside and comes near me, I like hives, my airways close up, eyes swell shut.
Dang.
Like,
it's funny too, because this piece was not light. It was a TV console, and it was some thick ass wood. And this guy,
dang.
he was not prepared for how heavy this thing was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
He said the missus has 5 cats. Oh,
yeah.
Yo. Where are we at?
Hey, man.
Where are we at? Oh, it's on this one. Sorry.
Yeah, you're cool.
Whoops. Nope, definitely not that one. Well, yep, that one might work. That is scary town.
Dude. So many cats. Well, I can't talk, dude.
You got a little zoo at your house.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have a dog, and he's too much at times.
Yeah, we have 4 dogs.
4 dogs, 5 cats.
Well, no
kids.
cats.
I'm sorry, kids.
Yeah. Potato. And then back behind me in this aquarium there.
Yep.
That's Mila's king snake.
Snake. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good on all of those.
Yeah, man. But the snake's cool. It's like the chillest snake I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just wants to hang out. It'll slid through your hands and chill.
Are other snakes' lives more active? Like, don't they normally just kind of hang out?
No, I guess it depends on the snake and the snake's temperament. My boy Mike is like an at-home reptile doctor.
Yeah.
that welds for money. But he no, man, he explained all of this to Mila and why this is a great starter snake, because like most of the time it'll just hang out under its sawdust or whatever that shit is. Not my snake, I don't know. And it comes out to eat once a week, takes a big shit, sheds its skin, goes back underneath.
Yeah, pretty simple.
Yeah, I mean it's nothing complicated about this animal, except if it gets out, it's fast as shit. And good luck finding it, because it's only this big. Yeah. Well, that reminds me, I don't know if she fed it.
Uh-oh.
That's a Brittany question. No, it's like it was something I told Mila. I was like, this is not going to be my snake. Like, understand, I will not fill up its water bottle. I will not clean the tank. I will not feed it. This is not my animal. It's just like your mom's chickens. I don't give a shit about those chickens. And they died.
Do you guys eat them when they die?
No, man. What was weird is even though we had them set up in a pretty sweet setup with, like shade and...
Wait, they all died?
Oh, yeah.
Oh man.
Like they all had like access to water and food and shade, and life should have been good, right?
I don't know. I have zero experience with
No,
chickens.
no, I mean, like, yeah, all them fuckers just. Snake Discovery is an awesome YouTube channel for her to watch for info. All right. I'll tell her. I'm sure she'll be into that. Yeah, man. But it's okay. I went out and picked up the carcass. When something just dies on its own, you don't want to eat it.
Oh, that's right. You gotta kill it.
Yeah.
So its soul is still in there.
That's another idea I've
Oh man.
been tossing around in my my insanity. It's like, I bet you I could like build a goat enclosure.
Would you eat the goat?
Hell yeah, goat's delicious.
No, I didn't say goat is not delicious. There's a TikTok guy that I follow, and he's African, and so they showed this picture of this baby goat, and it's in someone's hand. It's like a viral video that's going around, and it's like super super cute in the palm of his hand. They show it in the frame, cuts to him, and he's like licking his lip, or he's like licking the ends of his fingers, and then it cuts to him in Africa, and it's a bowl of goat meat. He's like, "Don't be mad at Mother Africa." I was like, "Yo." So yeah, he enjoys goat meat as well.
Yeah, no, hell yeah. No, the only reason I'd raise an animal, a farm animal, would be like, give me the sustenance that you provide. That was the best part about having chickens, was the eggs, and it was going to get to a point where they were, time for dinner, but they just never got the chance to be there.
Chickens are they intelligent animals? Are they on the lower end of the scale? I would say I would say the low end, just because of their head size, but I could be wrong.
I know that they're more carnivorous than what you'd think. So
I mean,
they'd have to have.
They have those cage fights, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, but they have to have some sort of intelligence to them to hunt. Yeah, see, Bo says they're dumb as shit.
There you go.
Well, so have you ever seen the videos where you can hold a chicken down by its head, and you draw a straight line in front of it, and it just lays there?
No, man.
Oh yeah.
I believe you. I've just never seen the video.
I did that. I've done that a few times. I did it a few times with them. Yeah, because they'll lay them down, and it hypnotizes them, and they're just like,
interesting.
Yeah. And they're just like, I'm not moving from this spot. I don't know what this is.
Dumb as shit. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So do we tend to eat dumber animals? Aren't pigs smart?
Pigs are definitely smart.
Okay. Maybe not.
Pigs are definitely smart.
Because we eat cow, but in other parts of the country, they're adorned, right? Or the world, another country.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So, like goat meat. My neighbor, when I grew up, had pet goats.
Mm-hmm.
And those things are probably still there.
Yeah.
So they are a family pet.
The goat meat was the best part about being in Iraq, man.
Damn.
I mean, some of the locals were pretty nice, and
Yeah.
I enjoyed them. But shit, that food, god damn.
Where could you go to get goat meat? Good goat meat. Is there good goat meat? I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's the market.
No, but like a restaurant. Where would you go to get well-prepared goat meat? Yeah.
Here, I have no clue.
No clue. Okay.
But I will go to the Greek place that's pretty close to the house, and I will eat a pound, if not more, of gyro. Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's my shit. Like about once a month, I'll get on Twitter and say something about how gyros are superior to anything. Like
to like
I would eat
sandwiches.
to like Like I would eat a gyro over a steak in most cases.
Mm,
Just my opinion, of course.
I
But
have an awful bite in terms of my teeth, so unless steak is very delicate, I tend not to like it for that same reason. So
I get you.
I would not argue with that point.
So I mean, well, we had some salmon tonight, and I love salmon, but I would have rather had a gyro.
That's
How's
easy,
how's
bro.
that?
That's easy.
Eh,
Yeah, that's fair.
No, but like I could eat salmon every day, no bitching or moaning.
You would get tired of salmon real quick.
Dude, I used to competitively bodybuilding compete.
Dog, I know that you could do it like for a competition, but I'm just saying for your quality of life, you're not going to eat salmon every day.
Oh no, I definitely hated that shit. It was fucking terrible.
No, I'm not saying salmon isn't good or good for you.
Especially-
I'm just saying the taste is specific. Like I get one kind of oatmeal, one flavor of oatmeal. So I have 30 packets of it, right?
What's your go-to?
Maple and brown sugar.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So, like I'll fuck around with apples and cinnamon if it's there. Banana, like peaches, I won't touch any of that stuff. But like, yeah. So I get mainly maple and brown sugar, but like, I will eat that every single day. No, you'll never hear me complain about that.
If you do your maple and brown sugar and you cut up your own bananas in it,
Bananas, okay.
you know what I'm saying? And it's good at potassium.
It's a lot
You
of
throw
sugar.
throw some peanut butter in there too.
Yeah.
That
Well, I
sweet
usually-
salty combo.
I usually do that plus a cinnamon raisin bagel
Ooh.
that might have some butter or peanut butter on it. So,
I was about to ask what was your choice of schmear?
I mean, you can't go wrong with butter on anything.
No.
Butter makes everything better. But like, I mean, if there's some cream cheese in there that's decent, I'll try it. Or I'll take it right out the toaster and just eat it. It's good enough that way too.
Whoa, savage.
It's cooked. It's good enough.
This will get the job done. Man.
Oh, speaking of getting the job done, bro, I failed at the funeral on Sunday.
Oh. Go on.
We were sitting next to a couple to my left, and Colleen was to my right. Then I think Star sat next to her, and people started getting emotional, and so my wife had to pay some Kleenex in her lap. She had her composure pretty good. The lady next to me was losing it, and so she either ran out of tissue or she needed more. But we exchanged pleasantries when we sat down. That was about it. And she tapped me on my hand and was like, and she pointed to my wife's Kleenex. So I grabbed it and I was like, yeah, I'll grab one for you. I could not open it. And it's a little package, and so I'm trying to also not make a lot of noise because it's plastic. And so it's dead silent because people are, it's a funeral. And so, yeah, dude, it did not open. And so we all shared a laugh about it because I gave it to her because she had nails, right? Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't do it. And then we got home and I looked at the thing because I could actually see it and I wasn't like in a moment. And so I looked at it, I pushed in on it, and it immediately opened. We started dying laughing. It was so funny. And so I made this post about it. And then people that I didn't know, and I don't even think I met them or spoke to them at the funeral, but they started commenting on it. They were like, it was so hard to open. So I was not the only one who struggled, which made me feel much better about it.
Yeah.
But it was hilarious. We all started laughing.
I think every funeral needs a moment of comedy in it to break it up.
My dad and we've spoken on this. That's what his top 500 song list came from. He took care of patients who were on the wrong side of life, and one guy that he was watching or that he was with his family had a playlist for him, and he was unresponsive, but he was still there, and so they just played his music because they couldn't communicate, and so they played his music. He played literally swan songs out, right? And so that started the whole process of my dad making his list and turned into our show. And so we've talked about our funerals, and we're like, it is not going to be a somber time. You're not going to have a random Kenny G solo. Like, it's not going to be sad. It's going to be, and so we're talking about our list, and we're like, what would you play at your funeral? Because you want people to remember you, and a lot of people will remember me specifically through music. And so, like, what makes your playlist says a lot about you. So in your last moment, why not have the ambiance be the most you, right? And so I had the idea. I was like, man, I don't know if people are doing this already, but there should be like, you should have like a bye-bye playlist. Like, and so people, everybody that can't make it to your funeral, they can listen to your favorite songs and that remind them of you, right? So like, we've both agreed that my dad was like, I want to hear 50 Cent in the club. He's like, clearly I'm not going to hear it, but play it. So, but yeah, we do not want it to be so sad, man.
Somewhere that triggered a memory in me. Like, I wouldn't mind do you know who Wheeler Walker Jr. is?
Mm-mm.
So he's a inappropriate country singer.
Okay.
He has a song called "Fuck You, Bitch."
Ooh. Okay.
Just at some point in my funeral.
Damn.
No, I laugh every time I hear that song. It's
So it would be difficult to sit there and not have a reaction to it.
yeah, and then people would be like, "Yeah, Jake."
Very good. Very good. Yeah, and it's the last time people will gather in your memory. Why would you make it PC? And why wouldn't you have an adult themed funeral? Kids don't need to see dead bodies. Like, that doesn't, how does that help them?
Yeah.
Daddy, why isn't he moving? So, yeah, man, the way that the traditional funeral and the person we lost, she was cremated. And so they had her urn up there. And so, like, that's exactly, like, I don't want people to spend money on a box that my carcass lies in. Like, do not do that. Please do not do that. This is my public declaration. Please don't do that.
I've always said that I've wanted to find a way to do like an old school, put me on a big funeral pyre. Funeral.
Oh man, did you see my stories with the guy in Atlanta? Who the guy, I don't know what he did. I think it's Atlanta, but they propped his dead body up in the club and they had a to go night. I'm not joking, man. Not joking.
That's amazing.
They charged like $40 a head. Like,
That's
wild, man. Like, he was propped up against the wall, just. That is. You can't. So just like your song, it's impossible not to see that and have a reaction. Like, who does it? Who goes to the club and says, "Oh, that's a dead guy. Cool," and then just has a normal night? How? How do you? I don't know. Anyway, that happened for sure. Don't do that either. Please don't do that to me either.
No, I wouldn't. No. I
Just don't let it go unsaid. Please don't do that.
That's a little even more extreme than I'd like.
It's like,
No, but I think the old school, just set me on fire. let it all go.
is it the Vikings who put you on a boat and then had an archer?
Vikings did the longboat. Mm-hmm.
That's dope, dog. I like that.
We see, like,
I mean, obviously not being set ablaze, but
like, personally, like,
definitely a power move.
The longboat would be cool, but I haven't spent a majority of my life at sea or learning anything about it. So that'd be like
appropriating. Ooh.
Yeah.
You're appropriating
So,
someone else's death tradition.
If we did like a straight up white boy Anglo-Saxon
Nah, bro. Put
old school funeral pyre. Like you build up the big mound of
no.
wood, you put me on top.
Put you on the tube that you take down fucking
Salt
Salt
River.
River, bro. And then
Oh man.
and then the fire from you and the plastic of the tube would then illuminate all of the aluminum cans on the bottom of the floor of the actual creek, whatever that is, the river. Yeah, bro, that would be hilarious. I'm surprised that has not been done yet.
Dude, so I don't know. I think I'd kind of like to do it how Doug Stanhope's mom did. So he has a bit about his mother's assisted suicide
Hmm.
because she was dying and couldn't. Was like, I'm over this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And so he talked to people and figured out how with the hospice care medicine they had, like how they could do it, and it'd be like her just going to sleep kind of thing. And so they had an evening, and he said, and I guess like she'd been in and out of AA her whole life, and so he says, "Mom, you're not going to do this shit sober, are you? You can't take those. You can't take those chips with you." And he was saying like his mom, her drink of choice was always a Black Russian, but she wanted to go with White Russians because the milk would help coat her stomach.
Dang,
So she can take her pills more effectively.
that's amazing.
Like, dude, the whole bit is great. I'll send it to you.
Yeah,
But
Doug Stanhope is funny.
oh man, but like that was I was like, I could see myself doing some nonsense like that. Be like, if I ever like knew when my time was, I'd be like,
So I want to.
this is the time to have the last party.
I want to see that trend, bro. I don't want to see any more gender reveals. I want to see funeral. I want to see exits. I want to see show me your exit.
Yep.
Because one, we're only talking about it because it sounds outlandish, but there's some logic to it. And TikTok, social media is an illogical place. So why not?
Mhm.
If a dude's gonna pose himself at the club, why not? Why not do the longbow or longboat? Like why not do fucking Salt River tubing and do it in an appropriate manner? Don't set California on fire because your baby reveal went wrong. Like, oh my goodness. So yeah, I would be interested. I would watch exit videos.
Sorry. No, I agree with you.
Shit, man. It sounds like a profession. I would like to be a
A funeral party director.
pro. Bro. I
What was
mean
that,
because of my history, I'm kind of numb to it.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I mean, I got emotional at one point during Jennifer's service because my fucking face popped up in the montage. I was like, "Oh, wasn't ready for that." Didn't expect that to happen. And so yeah, no man, I would not have a problem. I mean, because death it's so somber, it's so people, and the way that people react to it, it's like people choose distractions and they choose escapism for their normal days. Why would you not choose that for your final escape? Like, why wouldn't you go out? Why would you not celebrate your death the way you do your birthday? Your random ass 27th birthday that doesn't have any like special meaning. Like you spent $5,000 on that night. Like why would you not do the same thing and have a sign off that people talk about? I want to remember you.
Well, that was like Hunter S. Thompson's funeral.
I don't know what happened.
So, well, they pretty much had a giant ass party, and then they shot his ashes out of a cannon at the end of it. Like,
Fair enough.
yeah, like
Put it on the board.
so. Well, Hunter S. Thompson is the guy that wrote Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Gotcha.
Johnny Depp starred in that movie.
Yeah.
With but the guy himself was actually like
Sure.
interesting.
You have to be to write that.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of psychedelics.
Well, he got famous because he wrote a he helped expose the Hell's Angels because he was embedded with them for like years.
That'll do it.
Yeah. Dude was A-okay.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
Yep. I've been yawned. I'm sorry. I can't say anything.
Yeah, no, it's time. It's 9 time.
It's
for
9
sure.
time. Ooh. 9 p.m. is on the doorstep.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna have to put that on my board of ideas.
Well,
Exit.
the guy was,
Funeral arranger. Funeral turn down service. Ooh.
ooh.
Trademark. Copyright.
Yeah.
Let's say that right now.
There was a cat I was
Turned
talking
out.
to.
That's good, bro.
That's beautiful.
Oh shit.
Speaking of kind of morbid stuff, there was a guy I was talking about too a couple of weeks ago, and he was talking about getting into the body removal business.
Oof.
And like setting up around a retirement community.
Bro,
so, like, apparently that is a big money business.
Death is a huge business, man. That's what I'm talking about. I've got a market. Oh man, that's a market, bro. It is. I mean, wouldn't you rather go out like that than in a refrigerated truck outside of a hospital?
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
Just saying.
No, I agree with it.
Shout out, this dude wore a mask all of his life, lived to 80, and then had his same age friends get on stripper poles and dance to Cherry Pie at his funeral. Like, bro, that would be amazing to just witness. And then if you live stream it, dude, oh my lord. Whew. Because once it's like the 4-minute mile, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not possible until someone sees it. They see the technique, and then it escalates from there. Then more people do it, dude. I want to organize proper turn down service, and then let that be a trend. And then people, I want to see as many turn down videos as you do baby announcements, gender reveals. Just for balance.
I like it.
One is celebrating birth, one is celebrating death. Like yin yang. Yin yang,
Yin yang.
sorry.
Yeah, yin yang twins.
I was a DJ for 20 years. Yin yang was a part of that experience. I apologize. Oh man. I have to write that down. Turn down service.
Yes.
Oh man, that's fantastic. Where would it be held?
I mean, I think
The metaverse, bro. You can do everything in the metaverse.
It's true.
Oh, I should take it there. I should put it there first.
I was gonna say, if you're gonna do it here, I mean that's all kinds of permits and bullshit.
Is it?
Especially if the body's gonna be there. Yeah.
No. See, there you go. Like we were talking about with the libertarians. Like there has to be parameters set up. So cremation has to be part of it. Like your body is not going to be used in any manner, and if that turns people off, that's the more extreme part of the niche. I don't need to bring that kind of karma, man. Like once your body becomes a carcass, like don't need it, man. I don't like being in the presence of the large volume of death, like with animals and chickens. Like when I went to they took us to a slaughterhouse when we were young. Like the fuck for? So no, cremation will be part of that, or cryo.
Ooh.
Just freeze all the germs. Bro, that's the first rule, bro. Just put somebody in cryo in a tank in the middle of the room. Everybody takes pictures like they're at a fucking amusement park.
Yeah. Like Mr. Freeze's wife.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Man. Got the wheels turning.
Oh, what a this next venture for you is going to be wonderful.
Oh man. Well, I mean, when people, I've learned of the term bequest.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know the term?
No.
Bequest is the process of you giving away your things or your will and testament. You bequest your things to specific people. It's the process of when you die, what happens to your stuff, right? That's how estate sales work, right?
Mm-hmm.
My business is already set over that, so it's kind of like I'll just have to I'll cover the full spectrum.
Okay.
Buy to die.
I see, yeah,
Buy to die. Oh no. Hold on. Let's get it. Oh, that was the wrong one. That works. That works just as good. From the time you buy to the time, until the time you're no longer here, we got you. We got you covered. Oh man.
Interesting.
See, and then you don't have to break your back because everybody's cremated.
Yep.
Nobody has to waste gas in a caravan, hauling a body around town, messing up traffic. Problem solution.
Let's just put grandma over here and let's do this damn thing.
Dude, man, because you could have group sign-offs to where someone could die, or they say wait, if you have three best friends, and one of them dies, and they make a pact before everybody dies. They're like, we're all gonna wait until the last person dies, and then we're gonna do a group sign-off, a group turn down. It's amazing, man. That'd be a big ass party. There'd be a lot of people there. New people get to meet. You get to experience something that is, what do they call that? Core memories?
Yeah.
That's a motherfucking core memory, bro.
That's definitely a core memory.
That is a core memory for the people the impression you leave behind. Ooh, that's my fucking slogan.
Yeah. I like this brainstorm you're in, man.
Bro, this is what happens. This is what happens when I get ideas and no one's around. I talk out. I talk to myself. Like this is how it goes down, man. I love this process.
It's all right. I'm just over here like your Flavor Flav. Like, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. You're my hype man. Let's go. I mean, you're part. You were literally witness to the birth of this thing. So, I'm always trying to figure out ways to work with veterans. So this literally might be the way.
Dude.
That'd be incredible, man. We can franchise this shit.
Yeah.
Trademark, copyright, whatever I have to say.
I know lots of guys that would be down for that.
And in the essence of identity politics, how do you identity? What do you think when you think identity? Driver's license, fingerprint, right?
Yep.
Your fingerprint is unique. Why should your exit not be?
Yeah.
Come on, man. It sells itself.
And that's right there. That's an elevator pitch right there.
Bro, I hope the Gary V of tomorrow is listening. Hit me up. Let's get this funded. I'm telling you, man, this happens once a week. And most of it is garbage. Most of it is hot trash, and it's a hilarious process. But it's like I said, I vet myself and my ideas. I'm doing it in real time, live streaming right now, so a little bit different, but same thing, man. Turn down service. Turn down for what? Your death. Oh man, stop me at any time, man.
No, you're good.
Any time.
I'm eating this up. I'm having a good time.
So what you said, what'd you say earlier you would do for sure? You had a song. What was the song?
Oh, Fuck You Bitch by Wheeler Walker.
That's the title of the episode. Oh, that won't get us any heat at all.
No. Definitely not.
Sheesh.
Yeah, definitely not.
What song? Oh, I'm gonna play. I have to make that list. That is a new segment for my other show.
I'm telling you that dad vibe song, man. I find it.
Dad vibes, yep.
I'm finding ways to implement that in my daily life more and more often. I love that song.
Yeah.
It was like, never has a group from my youth come back and been like, but wait, we still relate to you now.
Right. Mm-hmm.
It just makes me happy. And then like my 13-year-old hates it, so it's just like, yes.
Like, can you just imagine going into a funeral, not knowing, and then all of a sudden you hear Chumbawamba?
Yeah.
How are you sad? And how are you not singing along?
Exactly.
It sells itself, man.
You just have, then of course you'll have the assholes that are like, we got to play Sweet Caroline.
Oh yeah, it's gonna turn into karaoke, and it'll be messy. It'll be messy.
Oh, yeah.
But again, set parameters. No karaoke machines. Where's it at? Yeah, that is a negativo.
Mm-hmm.
No karaoke. It's not open mic, man. It's closed casket, like not open mic. Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Get out of here. No offense to people who love karaoke. I love you folks, and I hope you enjoy your times. I just can't. Not anymore.
Dude, I haven't done this in years, but one of my favorite things to do is go find a place that's like, they're a serious karaoke bar.
Ooh.
You know, where like the people get up and they actually try. And, you know, like a lot of them can actually carry a tune in a bucket.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll get up and I'll do
They'll sabotage
Megadeth.
your evening?
I'll get up and I'll do Megadeth Symphony of Destruction. And I'll do Pantera's Walk.
That is another series.
And Motorhead's Ace of Spades.
What channel is Impractical Jokers on?
I couldn't
Is
tell
it
you
like
off the top of my head.
TNN or TNT or TBS or something like that?
Let's see.
You could have karaoke crashers, and you could do a prank show, and you go around to serious karaoke establishments, and you get like other people in the crowd that have like score numbers, like it's a dunk contest. And you just like Simon Cowell them. Oh man, that would be funny. That would be problematic, but it's like every other kind of prank thing that you have to stop everybody. It's a prank. It's a prank.
No. Tell me the channel. Tell me the channel.
I don't know. It's not important. I just thought it was one of those. TBS.
Oh, it was originally on True TV.
True TV. That's what it was. Like Bar Crawl or Bar Rescue was probably on that channel too.
Bar Rescue is a guilty pleasure of mine.
This could be right up there, bro. You could do it. You could definitely do that show.
The best was, so we were in Kansas for my buddy's wedding, and we were all like, it was a dry wedding because it was a super religious wedding. Like my buddy and his wife, both of their dads were pastors. So there was like, you didn't even have a champagne toast kind of thing. It was, and this was back in my drinking days. But we all decided, hey, we're out here. We haven't, like, you know, as a bunch of Marines got together that we hadn't seen in years.
Mm-hmm.
So we all got together and we're like, well, let's go bar hopping. And we ended up in some karaoke bar. And I was like, hey, guys, watch this.
Oh, the Saboteur came out.
Yeah, so it was me, my buddy Jay, and Donnie Robertson. And we were sitting there, and the DJ walks up to me after like my second song. And he's like, hey, I know that you guys are like, I can tell you guys are musicians.
Okay.
You guys are like a band. So, I mean, we you know, I'll get to your song when we can, but we got to give these other people some.
Bro, it is a community.
Yeah, we got to bring the vibe down because I got up and I had just finished my my Pantera walk with my great Phil impression, and
So what's the
like,
difference between that and someone who sings a ballad that just kills the fucking vibe?
well, I think a ballad it's a different kind of vibe kill, because when all of a sudden you get a guy who's passionately screaming along to some metal, you're like, I'm going to hit a guy. But then when you get someone that's singing a ballad, they're like, man, I'm going to call my ex.
Oh no. When I'm at a bar, when I'm at a karaoke bar and someone butchers At Last,
No,
Will Smith comes out.
yeah, no, that's fighting. That's I completely agree with you there.
And not to harm, but to warn. Stop it. Like, it's like it's so slow, and even when people are good and they murder it, it's like I'm eating mozzarella sticks. The vibe is such a weird combination of things, but people love it. Shout out to karaoke goers.
Yeah, more power to them. I've just been a living, breathing troll since before internet trolls was a thing. So,
Nah, dog. Where's it at? Trademark, copyright. Karaoke Crashers coming to True TV. Hosted by Hake Joward. Well, because you could get wrestlers to do it. Like big motherfuckers who's no one's gonna try to fight. And then how do you stop someone from crashing karaoke? Because the people that do karaoke aren't in the gym all the time. Can we say that?
I think so.
Can we say that? Can we say that they like Planet Fitness? Can we say that?
Stereotypically, yeah, I believe you're correct.
I would just say that if a fire broke out, people come out gassed from that short sprint. But no, like yeah, man, get Warhorse to do karaoke crash, dude, and then and then another wrestler is in the crowd defending the house, and so then they get up and they do like a scripted fight, and that's the show. It's wrestling, it's karaoke, it's a car crash. Karaoke Crashers, True TV, 11:35 p.m. for no reason. Yeah, man, this is what happens. I'm telling you. And then the next part of this process is me listening back to this tomorrow and then cutting the legs out. just chopping it down on purpose, so that way, if it survives that, if it's still standing after that criticism, I'm like, okay, let's make this a silly thing. You know how easy that would be to execute on TikTok? That's aimless television. That's True TV all the time. Just think of Punk'd. They've got a production crew. They have security. They have other people who are in on it. So like it would be easy to get the bar. How do you bring business to your karaoke bar? Because every bar has karaoke, right? Or a lot of bars have karaoke. So how do you compete? Yep. How do you stand out? You have your karaoke scene crashed. Come to the taping. Come be in the audience.
Yep.
Blah, blah, blah. That's dope, man. I would go to karaoke to see that.
Hell yeah.
I really would. The wrestling, you would lose me at the wrestling, but it's part of the thing. So I would enjoy it. But it doesn't even have to go that far. But just having someone who is able-bodied and who can defend themselves be the person who's singing, because what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do about it?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
That might encourage a lot of post Will Smith interactions, since that's a thing right now.
Yeah.
Karaoke crashers, bro, and then turn down service. Maybe someone loses their. They lose more than the fight, and then I do their turn down service.
Just sounds like making money hand over fist.
Yeah, man. That's capitalism. That's my capitalism cheat code. I was working on some stuff, and I'm like, okay, so capitalism doesn't exist without exploitation, right? So that means every person who is really popular, they all do something in a court gesture, self-deprecating sense, so that way people watching them can always have the opinion that they're better than them, right? Especially the safety from afar. So it's like you need to exploit an asset, a resource, in order to capitalize off of that, right? I've done everything but that my entire professional career. So this might be the thing that I do that's silly, that generates revenue for me to do the thing that's serious, that I care about. But I think I would enjoy turn down service, bro.
Oh yeah.
I would enjoy playing Usher, yeah, at a funeral. Boop 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 boop. And hearing the grandpa go, okay, like that would be awesome. That would be amazing, man. And then you remember that forever. Like
Forever.
How can you not like the deceased even more because of what they did for you posthumously? Shoot it down, man. Shoot it down. Let's do it live. Shoot it down. Where do you see find the holes?
I don't know. I just
this is our Kickstarter right here.
I'm thinking if you're doing, because the venue would have to change.
What do you mean?
Well, like unless you're setting up a spot, so you have.
Which one are you talking about right now? Are you talking about turn down service?
I'm talking about turnout service.
Okay.
I was gonna say, like, so you'd have venue overhead on top of, all the other permitting things. I mean, it's going to be initially it's going to be hella expensive.
Just think of how a wedding happens. Think of how a birthday party happens. Think of a celebration. You have to remove the somber death, grief aspect of the funeral because that's what we do, right? So the idea is to flip that. So you have to think outside of that box, which is the obvious thing, which is logical, which you're correct on all fronts. However, in terms of disruption, you have to throw that out the window because the vibe is positive. It's not funeral. It's not bad. You're turning down, and even that is kind of like, what is that, an oxymoron? Because you're not turning down. The idea is to make it a jovial celebration because people say that, right? They're like, it's a celebration of life. Is it though?
Yeah, everyone here seems pretty fucking sad.
Everyone's fucking crying. So, no, it's not a celebration of life. It is a shared space for grief, which traditionally is thumbs up. I'm saying I'm a fucking serial entrepreneur at this point. This is how it works. I see a problem. I introduce a solution and say, would people buy it? Would you go to a turn down service? If you got a text message that says come to Ryan's turn down service and no context, that's gonna make you interested, right?
Oh yeah, no, I'd come. I hope to not do that anytime soon, but yeah, I'd go.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, just think of how you gather and you go through the seance of, you show up, everybody is seated. This person gives an introduction. It's so, you want to talk about restrictive, like you have to follow this guide just for the sake of tradition, not because it celebrates the life of the person you're there for. You're remembering them. Why wouldn't you give them a new thing to remember them after their death? Because like, I don't like looking at some of my brother's late pictures because of his physical condition, right?
Right.
I never saw the last like live concert movie that they did for Michael Jackson because I loved him as a kid and growing up and all that. I don't want to see an old Michael Jackson try to do Michael Jackson. Like when Kobe scored 50 points on 60 shots, I had a hard time watching that game because he missed so many times. And it was this, he's legendary. Like he doesn't need that. He's done so much this last game. I don't care. It doesn't matter. It's not, I can't remember Kobe in a good light because he shot the ball 60 times. Bro, if I get 60 good looks, I'm scoring 50. And that, I mean, he shot 60 shots. I don't even know how many free throws he made. He probably made a dozen free throws. He missed that many shots, dude. It's craziness. But he's a legend, so we give him that. Like, nah, I want to remember Kobe and then he died in a helicopter crash. It was like, bro, imagine going to Kobe's turn down service and you have fucking all of these artists performing and shit, and it's a concert. Like, celebrate the person's life. Don't make it everybody wears black. You have to, everybody's weirdly quiet and there's awkwardness. And nah, when I see people I don't know, I want to know why they're, how they touched their life, because they touched mine. That's why I'm here. And then fucking Yeah by Usher comes on and you remember, oh, we did Lunar Bingo at Fort McDowell Casino. Smile. That's a happy memory. We're no longer crying. We're sharing a laughable moment about driving 50 minutes to go to a bingo that doesn't start until midnight. The investment was heavy to enjoy that night. But yeah, man. Turn down service. Followed by Karaoke Crashers. I'm telling you, man. That's money. Do people do that already? Is that a thing?
I don't know, but I think we've been messing our whole lives up just now thinking of this.
No. All of the time has allowed us to understand exactly what that thing is, which will make this cool. That's what it is.
All right.
Just like your conditioning, when things are hard to unlearn or they feel uncomfortable, but even though they're right or better for you, there's still that friction, right? This is that friction that's like a car crash. Everybody slows down to look. This is the same thing. Because you're performing another artist's songs without paying them. Let's start there. That's a big no-no in the music industry. Huge no-no. But it's a market, and so they allow it to happen. And what do? They make a corny version of the track and allow you to sing on top of it. That's all they do. I want the actual artist to come and play. I want fucking 3 6 Mafia to come and do Slob on My Knob at someone's funeral service, bro. That would be amazing. Of course, parameters, no kids, right? So make it make sense, make it an event, but that's a core memory, dog. If I walk in, dapper down for a funeral, and I hear Slob on My Knob, bro, I'm not crying. I can't. Like on that. No, bro, you can't do it. It's an incredibly sexist song.
Yep.
It's I won't let my kids listen to it, but it is a core memory.
What are you talking about? Your kids heard it the other day.
No, dog. They are heavy on We Don't Talk About Bruno right now. That's it. And whatever the new one is, Turning Red.
So I haven't seen that one.
Ooh, it's good. The girls love it. They sing the songs every day.
Oh.
Every day. Turn down service. I'm going to enjoy listening back to this episode.
Me too.
After I've slept and my brain is reset and I go, oh yeah. And then my brain does the Kool-Aid man. He busts through the normal sequence of connections in my brain. He busts through that shit and goes, oh yeah. And then a whole nother thing starts. That's how it works. You guys got to see that in real time. Oh man.
This has been a great episode.
Hey man. And we did zero prep. We had another guest that didn't show. And we had another guest that couldn't be on for longer than 30 minutes. So,
Calling this a W.
Yeah. W's. Fuck that bitch or whatever the title is. Oh, man.
I'll send that to you. It's honestly one of my favorite songs.
Bro, what if we just, every title, we referenced Natasha Nice at some point? And that was just like the running joke of the show was nobody watches it, but everybody looks at it because of that. Imagine if we got Natasha Nice to Karaoke Crash, bro. Oh my God. That'd be hilarious.
Hang on here.
Just saying, man.
Let's see. Go in here, edit.
I see way worse shit than this, what we're talking about online every day. Every day. I did come across influencers in the wild randomly, and that's always a good look. It's like the people of Walmart Safari version. I was behind a guy today who was clearly not from here, and he was taking pictures at many stoplights. We went by ASU's campus, and of course there's people walking in at the bus stop randomly, and this dude is on his phone, like totally looked like the beginning of a serial killer movie. Like he's plotting, and he noticed me watching him, and I had my phone in my hand, and I was going to record him, and we caught eyes, and I dropped my phone. Oh shit! Don't need those problems.
Here you go. So the name of the show is now Live with Drew Cook about the Sober Caucus, and we should get Natasha Nice to karaoke.
No, man. Oh, that's way too much. That's too much. That's so much information. Oh, man. The algorithm is going to shit all over that title.
It's all right. It's okay. I'll go back to the normal one. We'll brainstorm this.
Yeah, no. Whatever happens, man, I'm going to definitely make something out of this.
Yeah, I'll wake up and have a moment about it. Dude, we've been doing this for 2 hours.
Yes, we have. It's just like we're in surgery. The end of every episode is like, I don't know if you watch medical shows, but whenever someone dies, everyone that's involved in the process, they all raise their hands and they all freeze, and the main person in charge calls. I think you should do that every episode. You do anyway, but we should make it a thing so that way it's streamlined.
Call it. What do they call it? Freeze?
Time of death. Bro, that's the episode title. Bam. See? That's how it happens.
Ping, bam, bam. Natasha Nice, Time of Death.
Or just put Time of Natasha Nice's Death. That'll fucking throw up some.
No, dude.
Whoa.
What?
Just kidding. I'm joking.
Dude,
No.
Dude, the hate comments we would
Yeah,
get.
no bad juju. My bad. I take that back.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, we'd get some shite for sure.
No, every time you should like, all right, we've been on here for a while. You look at your wrist, whether there's a clock or watch on there or not, and I'll go time of death, and you'll report whatever time it is, and that's how long. Or you'll say time of death, and then I'll tell you how long we've been streaming. There we go. 1 hour and 57 minutes is where we're at currently.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for
material.
listening to the Sober Swole podcast.
Fantastic.
My name is Jake Howard.
I go by DJ Swirl.
And that's the show.
I'm gonna make you point for a long time this time.
I'm about it.
Hey, it's Warhorse. Do you want your workouts to look like this? Or do you want your workouts to slay? When Warhorse picks his pre-workout, he wants it to slay. If you want second place, go with somebody else. If you want to be a champion, go with Royalty Nutrition.